Hello everyone, my name is Jaybird and welcome back to Lucid9. Without any further ado, let's get right back to where we left off last time. Ooh. And with that, we managed to barely salvage the awkward atmosphere as we go our separate ways. I pull up this Cafe de la Paix on my phone and find that it's on the same street as GFC. Well, that makes this an easy walk. Unless, of course, she's referring to the other Café de la Paix, which is on the faraway border of District 8. Might as well try the closest one first. Shigure doesn't seem like the type to go out of her way just to make me miserable. Or rather, she doesn't seem like the type to inconvenience herself. There are cliques of academy students throughout the streets. Girls immersed in superficial gossip and guys exchanging ridiculous stares. I pass by a handful of police officers on the way. They nod courteously, but there's a shadow to their evaluating gazes. I keep my stride long, and my steps quick as I round the corner to the detonated rendezvous point. Sorry guys, I'm a bit sick, so I don't know if I sound weird or not, but I probably do. I wouldn't know that. I sounded weird this morning, but yeah. When I first see the place, I have to double check my phone to make sure I didn't take a wrong turn somewhere. By the quaint, lovely name, I was expecting some charming variation of the polished, established bookstore coffee house. That's a very good thing. Instead, I met with the definition of modest: chipped paint, dusty windows, and a swaying sign with 3 broken letters. Maybe this is Shigure's way of extracting vengeance? I take a deep breath before I enter the cafe. Surprisingly, the place is really decent on the inside. Sophisticated and sleek, the array of elegant furniture is punctuated by the black grand piano along the far wall of the cafe. A delectable smell of butter and sugar drifts from the counter of the shop, where several intricate glass displays boast rows of unique pastries reminiscent of a fairy tale world. Welcome, may I take your order? The cashier greets me with a smile, drawing me to the front counter. Wait a minute, isn't she? Oh my god. Come to think of it, I've never seen where she goes after class ends.
Of all people, it would be you.
I forgot what voice I gave her.
Of all people, it would be you.
Consider your lucky day.
Just give me your order.
I keep giving her a random accent every time I play this, holy crap. Oh well, I'll just stick with that, because it's easy. This situation is just too good to pass up. Elizabeth? A cashier? Do enlighten me. Why would such a wealthy, empowered young woman stoop to making lattes and washing dishes?
Work experience, obviously. Very successful
Very.
Every successful person comes from humble beginnings.
I might believe her, but the way she's averting her eyes is suspicious. So why didn't your parents get you some cushy internship at your dream corporation?
You know, some people want to earn their success instead of being spoon-fed by their parents.
But being spoon-fed is so much easier. I've learned I learned by now that comments like these will tick off Elizabeth more than actual insults. Sure enough, it works.
You're insufferable.
What's that? I should complain to customer services about an abusive cashier.
Just order already.
As I lazily glance over the pastry displays, a flicker of emotion catches my eyes. Who the fuck is that? Oh. It's the girl who always hangs around Elizabeth, an ordinary student settled in the corner, elbow propped on her table, eyes glinting in amusement as she absent-mindedly twirls a pencil between her fingers. Her back is slouched, her smile carefree, but there's something that seems a little odd about her. Elizabeth seems to notice my switch of attention and clears her throat. Are you going to order? Are you going to waste some? Are you going to space waste? Are you gonna Are you gonna waste space or like always? I can't speak.
Oh, give him a moment, Beth.
I glance at oh, I should give her a deep voice. Oh, give her a break, Beth. I glance at the book that's lying open-faced on her table. Advanced English Syntax and Grammatical Principles, version 3. That's the same text that I have for English. She must also be a third year, but in a different class. Head tilted slightly, eyebrows raised just barely. I get the impression that she's studying me just as hard as I'm studying her. Who are you?
Isn't it courteous to introduce yourself before you demand my identity?
I love that voice for her. So fitting. As your buddy Lizzie has probably told you, courtesy isn't my strong suit.
Oh, then what is?
Nothing.
Just a bit of friendly advice, Beth, but you may want to watch your step around this one.
What makes you say that?
Why, he's figured you out.
This elicits an unusual reaction from Elizabeth. I'm sorry for giving the brunette girl such a weird voice. I'm just tired of doing
This voice all the time.
with the variations, you know? There's only so many voices I can do before they all just sound the same. Bitten lips, fiddling hands, and an anxious shift of the eyes. Odd, I don't recall figuring out anything.
Well, Yama, why don't you give Beth a little grace?
Her eyes are twinkling at me, challengingly. Like she knows I don't know, but wants me to figure it out. Why would she do that? Why is she taking Elizabeth's side?
Fine, I'll apologize. Just don't tell anyone.
Well, now I really have no clue what's going on, but I might as well just go along with it. Yeah, why shouldn't I? Oh, she seems a little lost for words, but I can't help but grin. You'll pay me?
You know I can't.
That catches me off guard.
You know I can't.
Yeah, that catches me off guard, but thankfully I'm able to hide my expression just in time. Interesting. She can't pay. That can only mean that she's not as high and mighty as she pretends to be. Maybe her spending is restricted by her parents, or maybe she's legitimately poor. This just gets better and better. So, it's that big of a deal if everyone finds out?
Don't even think about it.
Yep, definitely not the rich, perfect princess that everyone was led to believe she was. Say, pretty pleased with the cherry on top.
Pretty please, with the cherry on top.
As begging goes, it's subpar, but I've decided to let it go. I don't plan on making her life miserable. It's more of a power thing. With blackmail hanging over her head, she'll definitely stop bothering me. I turn from the counter to survey the pastry case. Elizabeth's shoulders drop in relief. The girl at the table loses interest and returns to fiddling with a pencil. You never did tell me your name.
Am I obliged to?
As you said, it's common courtesy.
Now, when did I say I was curious?
She brushes her pencil into her bag and slings it over her shoulder, winking at Elizabeth.
I'll see you later, Beth. And gotta play nice.
She floats out of the cafe without another word, shutting the door softly behind her. Come to think of it, how did she know my name? She probably learned it from Elizabeth. Said Elizabeth rings up my Said Elizabeth brings up my order of 3 pastries and a smoothie as I spend a few minutes pondering the strange girl. What's her name? Why do you want to know? Is it really that big of a deal? Elizabeth sighs in clear exasperation. Her name is Natsuke Tanaka. Now you can hit on her. Congratulations. Oof. I lean over the counter until my face is an inch from hers. What makes you think she's the one I want to hit on? Elizabeth glances away, instinctively disturbed by my proximity. Right as I'm about to feel a rush of triumph, I catch a slight scent. Country lavender with a hint of vanilla. It's oddly majestic. I'm suddenly bulldozed by a sensory onslaught. I can see the curl of her long lashes, the gleam of her eyes, every perfectly tapered point of every hair, the subtle curve of her lips. I staggered backward, fighting against the images in my head. I need to get a hold of myself. This is Elizabeth. She's always been pretty. Why let it mess with me now? In a shaky attempt to cover my slip-up, I shove a bill forward. Keep the change. Elizabeth elegantly plucks the bill from my hand, and before I can process what's happening, she's wrapped her fingers around my collar, pulling me forward. For a few painful seconds, she stays there, her lips an inch from my jawline.
Keep what change? Keep what change? You didn't give me enough in the first place.
She releases me and I glance at the bill I've handed her. Only 1,000 yen. Crap, she's right. I feel a blush flare at my cheeks as I slide another bill to her. The corners of her mouth pull up just slightly. Careful, wouldn't want everyone to know that you're actually poor, would you? Yeah. She's genuinely amused as she passes me my order and bustles off to make my smoothie. I hate to admit it, but she doesn't look bad when she smiles. Ugh, get a grip, Yama. Yeah, get a grip, Yama! God damn. Fucking hormones. This is the Elizabeth who hounded you all of last year. The Elizabeth who keeps butting into things that aren't her business. The Elizabeth who believes that everything is in her control. That Elizabeth. Back to my senses, I select a buttered croissant, and throw the other 2 pastries in my backpack. There's not much to do, so I follow Elizabeth to the blenders. Apparently she's recovered because her face is set to its default disapproving scowl. What are you doing? Eating a croissant? Croissant! Stop staring. You know, your workstation has windows for a reason.
And that reason is not for you to stare at me like a pervert.
What about an admiring fanboy? Blimey, blimey. Ah, yes! My British accent was correct. She said blimey. Blimey, you're insufferable. Blimey, you're insufferable. I can't help but chuckle as a tinge of English leaks through her accent. I knew it! I knew it! Oh! I'm happy I gave her a British accent. So, are you actually from England? Why are you asking me all these questions? I'm bored, and you're taking a long time to make my smoothie. Maybe I wouldn't take so long if you would stop distracting me. Maybe you need to learn how to actually focus. She huffily slams the lid down on the blender and starts it up. The roar of the machine blurs the sound between us. Oh, dear me! I would like some tea and crumpets! Elizabeth's shoulders tighten in clear annoyance. Tally-ho, old sport! What say you to come... Oh, fuck. Tally-ho, old sport! What say you to some fish and chips? The blender picks up speed until it begins to whine. The weather is positively ghastly today, is it not? Then the blender stops. Elizabeth wordlessly pours the mixture into a cup and caps it, handing it over the window.
Firstly, I was born and raised in Japan just like everyone else. Secondly, just because you're not bilingual doesn't mean you have to mock people who are. She tears the wrapper off the... Oh, she wasn't from England. Damn it. Oh, well, I'm still giving her a British accent because that's good. She tears the wrapper off the end of a straw and sticks it roughly into the smoothie. Have a nice day. Come again. Woof. With that, she stretched into the back room, leaving me by myself. I actually feel uneasy as I settle into a corner. I'd expected Elizabeth to lash out at me just like every other time. But she was calm. Honest. Even if clearly annoyed. Is her heritage a weak spot? Did I bring up something that I should have been left alone? Furthermore, why am I letting it bother me? She's never showed me mercy. Not in the days where I just wanted to be left alone. The days where life almost wasn't worth it. Shouldn't I do the same? As I bite into my croissant, hoping to distract myself with its taste, the door of the cafe swings open. Shigure storms in, the tiny manifestation of fury as she clutches her phone against her ear, barking into its mouthpiece.
As I previously explained, explicated, the situation now merits further scrutiny. Have you compiled informative analysis of the extraction methods? Your errant incompetence disgusts me. Trust that you shall be receiving a visitation from your supervising officer within the next 24 hours. Good day.
She angrily shuts her phone and stuffs it in her pocket, only then do her eyes land on me.
Ah, Ishiyama. At last, someone with a manageable quantity of incompetence.
Nice to see you too, I guess.
Show me the receipt of your purchase.
Purchase?
For your pastries.
I almost ask her why, but decide just to shut up and give her the receipt. She promptly marches to the counter, taps her wallet against the card receiver, and marches back with 1,300 yen change. Yawn. She slides this to my side of the table with an expectant look. You need me to buy coffee for you?
This is reimbursement. As your supervisor, I am treating you for this meeting.
Oh, thanks. I'm honestly surprised. She came across as the type of person to make me pay for both of us, actually.
Now, regarding tonight's mission.
Mission?
Indeed. One of my asinine colleagues mislaid a pivotal dossier within the 6th district of Isamu.
The sixth out of 9 districts, also known as the District of Drugs, Gangs, and General Mayhem, where little children ought not to go. I think I know where this is headed.
Your assignment is to retrieve it tonight.
Yeah, saw that one coming. And why would I do this?
The better inquiry is, what abhorrent consequence shall befall you if you do not?
That stalls me for a moment, but I manage to think up a passable reply. Clearly nothing too terrible, since you need me to get it for you instead of going for yourself. Funnily enough, instead of lashing out at this remark, Shigure only seems impressed.
Perhaps you'll pass after all.
Pass?
The dossier's whereabouts are currently being established. I shall contact you with additional instructions at a later time.
I didn't even say I would do this.
I doubt that availability is an issue.
How does she... No, I'm not going to ask. I'm not even going to ask. Not having a schedule conflict doesn't mean that I'll take it.
Then can consider it your municipal burden.
I don't know how to say that. But I never agreed to.
Do you not wish to be something? To be someone extraordinary? To do something significant with your inconsequential existence? But then it is settled. Stay in touch.
She abruptly tilts her cap and storms out of the cafe, leaving me in a stunned silence. I return to my apartment, feeling an unusual kinship with my on-call military personnel. Well, guys, that's gonna be it for this episode of Lucid 9. If you enjoyed this episode of Lucid 9, leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!